Drive that makes citizens of developing nations flourish in developed nations. The stark contrast between living in a developed and developing country is clear-cut. In developed nations, basic necessities such as good infrastructure, transportation, healthcare, education, and safety are readily available, while in developing countries, they are considered luxuries. Additionally, in developing nations, job opportunities are scarce and wages are low, leading citizens to strive for wealth at all costs. But upon migrating to a developed country, with a wider range of job opportunities, citizens are able to attain a decent standard of living with their wages, and their aspirations of a luxurious lifestyle are fulfilled. Hi, welcome to Fourth Arm, and today we bring a video on the drive that makes citizens of developing nations flourish in developed nations. So, what is that drive? The drive that makes citizens of developing nations flourish in developed nations is a comprehensive effort of cultural integration, job training, and economic empowerment. Citizens in developing nations struggles daily to provide for their families. There are also decay of infrastructural facilities in developing nations that causes additional responsibilities which drives many into poverty and are therefore desperate to do whatever it takes to make ends meet. It is no wonder that the functionality of developed nations where everything works and where hard work is rewarded motivates citizens of developing nations to succeed when they migrate to a developed nation. Understanding the infrastructures. The term infrastructure first appeared in the late 1880s, derived from the French word infra, meaning below, and structure, meaning building. Infrastructure can mean the foundation upon which the structure of an economy is built. Even though investments in maintaining infrastructure tend to be costly and capital-intensive, governments of developed countries understand how vital it is for economic development and prosperity. Therefore, they fund infrastructural and social amenities projects through publicly and privately financing, or through public-private partnerships, so that all their citizens, regardless of the class of income band, can live comfortably. Moreover, infrastructure is essential for the economic development to facilitate commerce and quality of life of the citizens, and governments of developed nations understand this. Therefore, they invest in infrastructural and social amenities projects. On the other hand, governments of developing nations struggle to provide their citizens with the same level of infrastructure, which can lead to various issues such as low morale in workplace, illegal activities, side hustle at work, and lack of effort for company growth. Therefore, it's crucial for the government of developing nations to understand the importance of investing in infrastructure and make it a priority for their citizens. In conclusion, in developing nations, citizens carry the responsibilities of the government, despite paying taxes on the already low wages which cannot sustain a decent lifestyle. The impact of limited resources on infrastructure and amenities in developing countries. Some of the developing countries are the poverty capitals of the world, also referred to as society of empty pocket and empty stomach, with monumental shortfalls of infrastructures and amenities due to limited resources. Unfortunately, the well-being of the elites and the political class are priotised and not the people. The lavish lifestyles enjoyed by executives, public officials, are funded with the state resources, while the citizens lack basic necessities for a comfortable living. In addition, for businesses to remain operational in developing countries despite the rigor and the bureaucracy of setting up, many organizations incur huge expenses to run efficiently. However, most of the citizens of these countries are very progressive. They take over the responsibility of the government due to the lack of provision of social amenities and infrastructure. This leads to stress, tiredness, and economic hardship. And for businesses, it leads to winding down due to unsustainable high recurrent expenditure, which is avoidable had infrastructures that accelerate ease of doing business been provided by the state. However, the question remains, is the lack of infrastructure and amenities in developing nations leading to economic manipulation and poor customer service in the public sector? Personnel of almost all sectors of the economy in these nations manipulate figures on contracts, projects, procurements, budgets, school admissions, and port documents for personal benefits. The civil and public service, instead of being a driving force for the economy, has become a hindrance by fabricating bottlenecks for investors and business owners. In addition, some public officials also enforce a percentage cuts on government contracts. Public workers are also disengaged from carrying out their duties efficiently, as they often display unfriendly, impatient, and arrogant attitudes towards customers, resulting in poor customer service. The following government responsibilities in developed countries are being shouldered by citizens in developing countries. Social welfare. In developed countries, social welfare systems take care of the less privileged members of society, while in developing countries, the responsibility falls on affluent family members to support and provide for the poor and needy. Additionally, in developing countries, individuals often give monetary assistance to relatives, in-laws, friends, neighbors, and even strangers for their upkeep and domestic needs. Security. This is another area where citizens in developing countries take on more responsibility. To protect their lives and properties, individuals often erect security fences around their properties and hire live-in security guards to work round the clock on their homes or neighborhoods. In case of any crime reports or arrests, citizens may also have to assist law enforcement agents financially due to the government's inadequate funding of the police force. In Nigeria, for example, citizens voluntarily contribute towards all activities of the police services, including communication, transportation, stationaries, and police uniforms. Electricity. Electricity is also a major concern in developing countries, with constant electrical blackouts. To combat this, many households provide electricity themselves through the use of special battery power banks to store electricity and operate intermittently between 2 to 3 generator sets to power their residence, burning between 10 to 20 liters of fuel daily into the environment. Fuel contains carbon and hydrogen atoms. Imagine the effect of millions of households releasing large amount of petrol and diesel into the air daily. These gases trap heat in the atmosphere, polluting the air that people breathe, causing health damage and global warming. Water. There is limited government tap water in some developing countries. Individuals provide water directly themselves or buy from water retailers. In Nigeria, for example, government water is almost non-existent. Millions of homes have individual boreholes and wells for constant water supply, and these are also treated for drinking. Education. There is utmost poor funding of public schools in most developing countries. Almost all working-class parents enlist their children into private school education throughout school age because of the low and poor standard of public school education. Healthcare, sanitation, and roads. Healthcare in developing nations is costly, and some are in crisis due to lack of modern equipment and technology, as well as a shortage of well-qualified and experienced medical personnel. Despite these challenges, many lives are still being saved, but due to a lack of effective government monitoring of medical practices and inefficiency, misdiagnosis and mistreatment has led to many preventable deaths. In addition, citizens have to take on the responsibility of cleaning the streets, roads, and markets, and clearing gutters and drainage of improperly disposed waste. Roads in developing nations are also in poor condition, leading residents to contribute to the repair and maintenance of their streets and access roads because bad roads are causing additional expenses for car maintenance. The government must prioritize road maintenance before implementing vehicle MO2 requirements. It is clear that the factors mentioned above are causing citizens in developing nations to struggle and be desperate to provide for their families. These additional responsibilities are driving many into poverty and pushing them to do whatever it takes to make ends meet. It is no wonder that citizens of developing nations are highly motivated to succeed when they migrate to developed nations, where everything is functional and hard work is rewarded. They excel in almost every sector of the economy, while citizens of developed nations demand better services and higher wages from their government. These very services and wages are considered luxuries to those from developing countries. If government can shoulder his responsibility and relieve the citizens off these burdens, there will be 1. Increase economics activities through higher discretionary income. 2. Reduce corruption. They have less commitment. 3. Increase life expectancy. Make people live longer when they are more relaxed and have less money worries. 4. Reduce labor unrest. It will stop agitation for increased wages. 5. Reduced unemployment. Companies will not retrench workers as the overhead will drastically reduce. 6. More government revenue. The more people in employment, the more income taxes the government receives. 7. Increase savings and investment. Citizens will have abundance instead of debt. 8. Businesses will return to profit, thereby employing more staff instead of layoffs. Watch out for our next video. What should determines the world's best police force? We have seen the struggles that citizens of developing nations face and the drive and determination they possess to succeed in developed nations. It is clear that with the right support and opportunities, these individuals can not only thrive but truly flourish. It is our responsibility as a society to ensure that we are providing these resources and breaking down barriers for them. Let's work towards creating a more equal and just world where everyone has the chance to succeed. Remember, behind every success story is a person who never gave up on their dreams, and we must continue to support and empower them on their journey. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Take care.